Goldstein, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, Jess.
There you go, Michael.
Yes, Dan.
How's the microphone, Michael?
Thank you. And am I going to be able to use this?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Okay. Is that the arrow that goes to my right? So,
Hello, everybody. I've been practicing law for over 23 years now. I've had my own practice for 20 years, and I've blinked my eyes a few times. It's just gone by really fast. And I think a reason why it's gone by so fast is because I'm one of the few lawyers, and Matt and I were talking about this a little earlier, that I really love what I do. The law, for me, is it's a very jealous mistress. So I spend a lot of time just thinking about my cases when I'm not even at work. Don't get me wrong, I love my kids, I love my family. I love going to the beach and playing volleyball and hanging out with my friends, but I really, really like my job.
Hit the space bar on the computer.
Okay, so your kids. That's my 5-year-old. This is Nicholas. Here we are, I think, Yuleton, on the way up to Mammoth. Okay, here he is again. Still needs to learn how to hold a bat. Maybe Doug can help him with that. Doug plays a lot of softball. This is my middle one. This is Alex, and he's learning to ski in Mammoth here. He has all. He's here up in Mammoth. In Mammoth, he has autism. He's developmentally disabled. He's virtually nonverbal. Great kid. And here he is learning to ski. There's an adaptive ski program up in Mammoth, and they're beginning to roll it out all over the country, which is great. So we've got a lot of people who are volunteering to help disabled kids, disabled people, how to ski. They have folks who are in wheelchairs, wounded warriors, and it's a great program. So we get him up there, and then the rest of us, we all ski together. It's a lot of fun. Here, this is my son Alex and my daughter Natalie. This is at the after the Rose Bowl, you can go see the floats. So we took our kids out to the floats. And there's my lovely wife, 19 years. I think it's her birthday there. She's still 29. And that is the, kind of hard to see, but that is the Princess of Monaco. And I was lucky enough to not only meet her, but she presented me with a silver medal when I played at the Princess of Monaco beach volleyball tournament that he hosted a couple of summers. Cool. All right, so here's what our firm does. These are the types of cases that we handle. We do accidents, as I'm sure you know, in a number of different categories: automobile, bicycle accidents, motorcycle accidents, pedestrian accidents, big rig truck accidents. Types of collisions that you'll see are rear-end collisions in red lights. Oftentimes, people will not wait to turn left. They won't wait till the light turns red before they turn left. They'll try to turn on a yellow or a green. That's not very safe. And then we often see a lot of lane change collisions where people are just switching lanes and they don't look. And Greg was talking about this earlier. They'll hit motorcycles and other vehicles. As far as bicycle collisions goes, like one of the categories is winning the door prize. And we had one case where there's a woman she was a Harvard Law graduate, and she's riding her bicycle to work in Santa Monica. And there was somebody who just opened their car door right into her, and she's a relatively nice person, attractive lady with pretty bad scar on her leg. We ended up getting her the insurance policy limits of $100,000 to resolve her case. There was another case involving a bicyclist who was actually rear-ended by another guy. Another lawyer had the case, and the way the driver who hit her explained it to the police officers that she had cut into his lane in front of him, which wasn't true. We ended up, and the lawyer had who she originally had, dropped the case because he didn't think that it was worth pursuing. We ended up doing more investigation. We got a witness statement. We got everything that we needed to do to win the case, and we did. And we ended up getting her the insurance policy limits from the other driver's insurance company while in litigation. Another case we handled, there was a lane change dispute, and this is on PCH. So you've got a lawyer at a very big firm, which is right down the street here. It's maybe 2 or 3 buildings away. A partner over there, she was riding her bike on PCH, an avid bike rider, and there was an anesthesiologist from from Cedars, who had actually thought she could beat her down the hill near Jeffries, and cut her off, and then they collided, and you've got an anesthesiologist from Cedars and a partner in a major law firm. No one's really done anything wrong ever in their life, including causing this accident. So we litigated that, and we got a very good result. That worked out well. Motorcycle accidents, a lot of left turn accidents there. We had a client who's a friend of mine from the beach. We played volleyball together. He's a PhD out of SC and a male model, and he was on his motorcycle, and he got hit by a car that was turning left. And he needed surgery, and he wasn't represented by anybody. He tried to do it himself, and then he realized, wait a minute, I know Goldie. Called me because they were off. His medical bills were about $25,000, and he had minor surgery on his knee, and they offered him $20,000. And I called the insurance company, and I said, hey, look, I talked to the adjuster. I'm representing this guy. I don't know what you're doing here. And she goes, well, the adjuster told me literally, quote, you caught me. She was offering so little money, and they're required by law under 790.03 of the California Insurance Code to offer a full, fair, and reasonable amount promptly, and they weren't. So I ended up getting him the policy limits of $50,000, and she paid it. Lane change accidents, freeway accidents happens all the time. I represented a guy who was a professional motorcycle rider who was on the freeway, and there was a guy who just didn't look and just changed lanes and just knocked him off his vehicle. This guy catapulted over the car ahead of him. It landed on the hood and then on the ground. So he was pretty badly hurt. We got him a very big settlement in the mid 6 figures. Pedestrian accidents, we do it happens all the time in crosswalks. That's why I tell you guys, don't be vigilant. Don't look at your phone when you're crossing the street, because chances are the driver who's driving a car isn't paying attention either. So you got to be really careful. So we just represented a 98-year-old lady in a marked crosswalk who was hit by a garbage truck. So this is a reconstruction of the accident. We ended up getting this lady $6.5 million. So here's a reconstruction. Here she is. She's 80% through the through the crosswalk. Garbage truck is right side driven because they're picking up the trash cans on the right side of the street. She was in his blind spot, and he never cleared his blind spot, which he was required to do. Here's how it happened. 3 axles ran over her arm, and we ended up getting her a lot of money. And that case just resolved. She's had a very good recovery, but she had a lot of problems with her arms, multiple fractures, and her arm is degloved. We've done big rig trucking collisions. On time? Okay. All right. So rear end collisions. There was a nurse who we represented who's on the freeway. I think she's on the 60 or the 10, and she gets rear-ended by a big rig. And it's a physics question. I mean, you're driving a vehicle that's maybe 2,000 or 3,000 pounds, maybe a little more, and you get hit by a big rig, which can be as much as 80,000 pounds. You're gonna get hurt. So she gets hit by a big rig, and then as she turns around to see what hit her, the big rig hits her again. So, she ended up having surgery. We got a really good result, a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she's back to work. Lane change collision, there was a woman who represented a lady who was actually knocked out the freeway by a big rig truck. I had to fly to Ohio and take depositions. We inspected the truck. They disputed liability. Ultimately, we got a really good result in litigation, and they pay well into the six figures. Okay, other stuff we do, traumatic brain injuries. I've got a case right now with a traumatic brain injury case. It's really terrible. One of my closest friends is a board certified neuropsychologist at UCLA. He's been on staff at their medical school for years. And he's a nice asset to have, to run cases by him. Fractures, herniated discs, we do wrongful death cases, burn scar cases, premises liability cases. Anybody slips and falls at an accident, trips and falls at an accident, or at a supermarket or a restaurant, apartment buildings, nightclub security negligence, food poisoning, animal attacks, dog bites, had a cat attack where a cat should have been on Prozac, it wasn't, should have been medicated, and attacked a woman was a model. We got her a bunch of money. Government cases, we saw the garbage truck case. Why choose our firm? Excellent customer service. You're getting me basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My wife's a lawyer, but she gets it. I mean, I'll take calls when I'm on vacation and, at night, on the weekends. You're going to get a lawyer. You have my cell phone number on my card, so you get me. We care about our clients. We love what we do. I really like what I do. I'm really lucky to love my job. And I hate to lose. I really do. I played volleyball in college against guys who are 6, 7 inches taller than I was, and I just don't quit. And we generally get very good results. Thanks very much for listening. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming that the 96-year-old woman is actually that you didn't get the use that based on.
What's the question?
She was retired. She was a retired school nurse.
Would you repeat the question?
Yeah, she said the settlement wasn't based on loss.
It was specific.
Yeah.
Right. We have time for one more question.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ted. Sorry.
Yes.
I literally was in a car that got run into that yesterday on the freeway. There were 4 people in the car. So are we each entitled to our own representation? Yes.
I'm sorry.
4 people in a car in an accident, or are we each entitled to our own representation?
Four people in the car? Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own lawyer.
Sometimes there's going to be a conflict of interest because if the driver caused the accident and there are 3 passengers in the car, the passengers may have a claim against the driver for the driver's negligence, either in full or in part.
So thank you,
I've been
Michael.
talking about that. Thanks.